twisting and turning inside out. Beautiful move, trying to get the shot on. He holds, he shoots, he scores! Absolutely!
The pitch, high fly ball, center field. It's hit pretty well toward the wall. Goal!
Roethlisberger gives him a lot of room here. Juju Smith-Schuster off to the races inside the 30, the 20, the 10.
Look at that 10 years that Anthony made up, A1. Love it.
I like that.
I like it. Oh, we're just looking at the 10-year anniversary. This is live. Welcome to another live edition of Pittsburgh Sportsline in the BPTV studio in the Municipal Building in Bethel Park. You all know where that's at, 5100 West Library Avenue. I said West Library, not West Liberty. That's in Dormont or Mount Lebanon. But check it out. Police station's right next door to keep Smoking Jim under control. Oh, I said that out loud. Sorry. Thanks for watching us on Comcast 7, only in Bethel Park. That's how Comcast is, only in Bethel Park. Thanks for watching us on Verizon 32 in Bethel Park and the greater Pittsburgh area, from Nemacolin to Cranberry, Wexford, and all points in between. Yes, even the city of Pittsburgh, where PCTV is. We're not competing with them. We're out there all the time. We're on there, Verizon 32, so check it out. On Facebook, we hit a brand new high, 6,929. We're inching along for all you non-math majors at Gateway, Smoking Jim's supposed alma mater. We've seen no record of them there. That's 71 likes away from 7,000. So thank you very much. We have some promos that I put up every week. First one up, we got A2 on the camera. Let's see how he does on the first one. We'll see what happens. Look at how I got the Raven colors on. Look at how that's in the background. Great job, A2. Olive Oil's Pizzeria sponsors our show with an XL pepperoni pizza. Steak hoagie cut in 6 slices so we don't fight over it, and we leave one little scrawny slice for Smoking Jim Frazier, just because he likes to eat while we talk. But no. Thank you again, Frank. Saw Frank Faneri, said say hi, Smoking Jim. He misses you. And I said, I'll relay it. And he said, if you can get me a couple dates with those sweeties that he posts up every day. He goes, I won't even pick them. You can pick them. But they have great Italian food, desserts. You name it, they have it there. They got Italian ice in the summer, which will come soon. We got nice spring-like weather before spring on Sunday. So enjoy it. But go to Hillcrest Shopping Center, 412-831-1900. They always got specials. They have a new menu out. I got the new menu. I don't want a close-up on this, but look at the specials. You could get A2 on a special here.
Is that cake?
They got it.
Ooh.
I saw them make up a bag with 4 slices of dessert. Chip wants to look at it. All right, we end each show with, let's see what A2 got on this. Oh, yeah, thanks. I need your help. Nick, we end each show with Stay Joey Strong. Look at that. Joey before DIPG, Joey with DIPG, the dreaded brain cancer that took his life at 8 years old, right before his 9th birthday, 7 years ago. His family started the Joey Fabus Childhood Cancer Foundation. You can find them. You can donate money, donate your time to events. Biggest event we film, the Joey Fabus 5K 1 mile superhero run, where you dress up as a superhero and walk or run. It's very popular. It raises their most money. They've raised over $100,000 to find a cure for DIPG. Last race, I ran into the doctor, got to meet him at Children's Hospital, call him Dr. Gary. Supposedly I'll get to interview him on a talking machine show sometime, so we may travel to Children's Hospital there. So it used to be the old St. Francis Hospital, if you know where that is in the eastern part of town there. And he says there's a cure coming. We're getting closer each day. Next up, we'll see A2's on fire here. He got it on autofocus now. He can't hide that from me. I caught him. A1 does that regularly, so I know where he comes from. But I go with Dave Cable's school of thought. Look at that. Perfect. Bethel Park Historical Society Schoolhouse Arts and History Center, 2600 South Park Road. Can't miss it. 1905 schoolhouse, been remodeled from top to bottom, from the basement where they had a coal furnace all the way to the top, and a new cupola with the old Bethel Park original bell is there. They got a historical flag there now. They just got that over 50 plus years. They have a great coffee place where I get my tea called Reginald's Coffee. I heard they're hiring there, so anybody that wants to be a barista at Reginald's Coffee, just stop in and tell them Alan Levine, the talking machine, told you about it. And they're just great there. Julie and Matt are great owners, and they named the place after their dog, Reggie. So that's what I got there. Check it out. Great place to go, and their coffee is better than Dunkin' Donuts, Starbucks, and everybody else. Look at Auto Man is back. A2 nailed this. Wait till you see. Bang, bang. All right, always be smiling. Great 501c3 started by Bennett, who is the B in smiling. They named the 501c3 after their 16-and-a-half-year-old son who died after years of health issues and 2 kidney transplants. His dad, Dean, gave him a kidney a few years back, and finally all the complications and health issues took his life. He was always a smiling type of guy and a happy guy, even though he was handicapped and had many health issues. He just was one of the most pleasant guys, so they honor him and other people that their children are going through kidney disease and transplants. They provide money and services for the children and families to get the kidney. So they do a lot of great things. Check out their events. Thanks to everybody and all my friends that have liked it, that boosted up over 1,000 likes. I appreciate all of you doing that, and we still get them trickling in right now. So if you're just watching the show now, always be smiling. Give them a like. It doesn't cost anything to do it, and they're not annoying if you like their page. They're doing great things. All right. I trust them on this. This will be good. Let me take a deep breath. Hey, thanks to Ralph Williams. Thanks to Amy for watching. And anybody else that I can't see that's watching, I appreciate you out there.
Ralph, that's my man.
Yeah. Smoking Jim co-hosts the show with Ralph Williams on PCTV. I'm not sure exactly what night, but like a Thursday night or a Sunday night, they do business. Smoking Jim's a silent man, but hello to Ralph Williams. Just had to do a little shout out for you. All right, I want you for BPTV. You can be like Nick Callis. He was behind the camera. Now he's on the camera. Go figure that one out. A1, been here almost 2 years now. A2, under a year. Ryan in the control room. He's learning how to do everything that Anthony A1 did and other people before that, and he's handling it all himself. I call him the silent man, and I've heard a couple words from him, good and yep, today. So it's a bonus. You can be here, 412-831-3304. Call Dave Cable. If you're in high school, we welcome you here to become a videographer, control person, and maybe even you want to be in front of the camera. You could actually do your own shows like me. I produce and co-host this show, and you have a lot of fun, and we do over 500 plus shows a year. So join the team at BPTV. All right, next up, another, after my kidney transplant, by the way, I had a 2.5-year great exam. The doctor said I've been one of the best transplantees that he's ever had. And he said, keep doing what you're doing. And he goes, your blood, urine lab works are perfect. Come back in 6 months. And he goes, what's your latest meal you cooked? So he wanted to know. I showed him Smoking Jim. He liked it. Then he's going to drink some green tea since I haven't had a sinus infection in 21 years. He said, I want to try a couple of the brands you have, and I told him I got the Talking Machine brand at 211 Grant Street in Millvale. Just check it out. They were Tupelo Honey Tea. They now have a new name. So go there. But Kathleen Miller, I contacted her because I heard she had kidney function of 17%, which is terrible. And when it gets to 15, you need a transplant. So she made up this flyer. There you can see Kathleen. I'm friends with her, talked to her many times. She does watch the show. I'm not sure if it's every week, but she always wants to know, what's up with Smoking Jim Frazier? And I said, he's my BFF.
That's one of the greater mysteries of this decade.
Right. I'll let everybody chime in because we just don't know. He's one of the best in the media, and we're not sure what it is, but he's one of the best. But Kathleen's doing great. She got a living donor. She thanked me, and I said, maybe I helped, maybe I didn't, but maybe somebody who watched our show spread the word. She does have a donor. When her kidney function gets worse, down to 15%, she will get a transplant, and we'll find out who her donor was so we can thank them by their name. So stay tuned for that. All right, another 501c3. We won't explain it anymore because we spent 6 months telling Jim what a 501c3 is. They're a nonprofit. For all of you, unlike my BFF, that we can't figure out if he does pay taxes or even get paid for anything. But for all of you that can write stuff off, you can donate money to the 501c3s that I promote. And I'm being serious. I mean, he's like Ed McMahon for me. He's laughing at all my straight lines. So
Is it more like Vince McMahon?
No, his behavior, no, Chip, you make a great point. His behavior rivals Vince McMahon. And his pockets don't even act like Vince McMahon's pockets because they're full. He's pulling lint out, and Vince McMahon's pulling gold and cash. But that's just my opinion from what I've seen over 10 years. But check out the Bethel Park Community Foundation. We have money for you doing great things in Bethel Park. If you have a 501c3, if you have a business, if you even have a group that you started wanting to help our community get better, we have money for you from $100 to $5,000. I'm a trustee on the board, been there for years. Go to bpcf.org, and we have a meeting every 2 months to decide on who gets what money and when. We've given out over $1 million in 25 years, and we plan on giving out much more. We have scholarships available for your high school kids and graduates. See if you qualify. Just go to the Bethel Park Community Foundation Facebook page or go to the website. Again, bpcf.org. All right, we got to get this show going with sports. What's on your mind, Smoking Jim Frazier?
Thanks, Al Levine, the talking machine. And if you want the green, you got to see Levine. But I tell you what, Al Levine, the talking machine, one of the top 3 high school basketball teams in the state of Pennsylvania is playing tonight in the state playoffs. They got robbed by the referees in Newcastle. Gateway is playing the #1 ranked team in the state, Laurel Highlands. Down goes Laurel Highlands. Down goes Laurel Highlands. Gateway's playing them today.
Why aren't you there?
Well, because I'm here. I'm obligated here.
I'm honored.
So
that's why he's my BFF.
I always see
he didn't go to see Gateway win.
I always say I would never do this, but I'm all booked up and signed. I signed the deal today for 2023. All week long, I'll be at the Super Bowl in Phoenix all week long in 2023. I never wanted to do it, but I'll do it this year. I don't expect the Steelers to be there, but
Do you expect to get asked back?
probably not. Might be one and done.
Hold it. There's no disclaimer here, but the man of mystery, look at how he teases us, folks. He goes, he's going to be there, and he said it out of the ordinary, wasn't even prompted to talk about the 2023 Super Bowl. So who in their right mind would hire you so far in advance? You could have an accident, a heart attack, diabetes attack, and not walk. You got bad legs and bad feet. Okay, who got you?
But far be it from Jim to toot his own horn. But toot.
That's the first time. Who hired you?
But hey,
Who hired you as I hear crickets?
but hey, Al Levine.
Who hired you?
Real quick, what's on my mind?
No, who hired you?
What's on my mind is I give the Pittsburgh Steelers a lot of credit. At least they're being active. Hey, listen, Mitch Trubisky was the second player picked overall. Weak arm. That didn't help him in the Windy City, Chicago. But, Coach Tomlin said in the offseason he wanted a quarterback with some mobility. This guy fits the bill. He only started 1 year at North Carolina, but he made the most of that 1 year start. I tell you what, you can't ask for a nicer guy. I've never heard anybody
How about
say
the
anything.
speed he has?
He's a 4'6", 4'5" guy. He can run.
I saw him running a
Did he
few
beat Pitt?
games.
He probably the best game he ever played in his life other than high school was probably against Pitt. So I really like that. I like the Steelers going after his offensive center and guard for the Chicago Bears, James Daniels. He's a 27 pounder, 6'4". That's going to help on the offensive line. They also went to get Mason Cole, a center, to provide some depth. He got some starts in the National Football League out of Michigan. I like the offensive line coach and Pat Myers. And they just picked up. They went to all-black school, and picked up the assistant offensive line coach from an all-black school, Isaac Williams, to help along.
Which
the
is it,
offensive
Williams
line.
or Williamson?
Williams.
All right, thanks.
And
Because I like
so-
to get the honest
Yeah,
facts.
so they got a little backup. So I like the opportunity. I'm not giving up on Mason Rudolph. It's going to be a battle to see who starts.
Competition.
But
Yes,
I
exactly.
think for Canada's offense, a guy that can run that pretty good, maybe Mitch Trubisky.
I gotta
Just don't
mention.
throw
I gotta
any
mention
interceptions.
this. This is a non-disclaimer for Tony at Chick-fil-A. With Smoking Jim Frazier, this is the first time that I can remember that he didn't criticize the Steelers
Or Mike Tomlin.
or his so-called friend that's not a friend, Mike Tomlin, as Chip said. So this is a momentous day. 3:15. Only 2022, because I don't know what's happening at the Super Bowl in 2023, because he doesn't travel well, and he doesn't drive that well.
No, he's leaving tomorrow.
I second that emotion right there. And we're not picking on him. As all of you know, I'll go with my other ear. I'm still hearing crickets. Not that I got in trouble once for saying he was lying, and I won't mention bitcoins, but he didn't know. So I'll go with some intelligence that he doesn't know who hired him.
But I mean, leaning towards Jim, complimented the Steelers. Picking up Mitch Trubisky.
Yeah.
For the dollar figure that they signed him for, okay, makes a lot of sense because the Steelers have plenty of other holes to fill, and plugging a couple of those holes with offensive linemen picked up in free agency makes a really good sense. Wasting a bunch of money on a $30 or $40 million quarterback, okay, would have handcuffed you trying to fill other holes. Now, they also picked up a safety from the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Oh, geez, what was his name? But anyhow, they picked up a starting safety. So they're addressing some of the issues. They're not going to fill all their holes through the draft. They have to make some moves.
They never have. According to Smoking Jim, they never have.
Subsequently, the moves that they're making
Just the scout's opinion.
make a lot of sense fiscally. So I do have to agree with Jim that the Steelers seem to be playing
Hold
their
it.
head right.
There's a timeout now. I'm overwhelmed. 700 plus shows, 10-plus years.
I don't agree with him often.
This is my point. Chip
when the
knows
man
my
hits the
point.
nail on the head. You gotta give him props.
Do you know how infrequent this is? I'll mention Halley's Comet comes around once every 86 years. But for Chip and Smokin' Jim to agree from Chip's opinion, because Smokin' Jim has said 500 times that I counted, I lost track, that you guys agree with me, Al, Chip, and now Nick, over 500 times. We never talked about what we agreed with.
Hey, you know what? There's that theory about a blind squirrel.
Yeah, he found that nut. Hey, I gotta give a shout out to, I think this lady's related to you, A1, Valerie Veltri.
Yay!
Hey,
Thanks, Mom, for watching.
thanks, Mom, for being a fan.
Amy from the Bethel Bakery says, Happy St. Patrick's Day, guys. Bill Means says, hello, guys.
Number 22.
Yeah. And Ralph Williams, it just came up on my feed. Thank you, Ralph. Levi Wallace.
Thank you, Ralph. I appreciate that. Levi Wallace is a safety they picked up from the
Okay,
Bills.
thanks, Ralph.
On that note, Chip Hayner, what's on your mind besides Levi Wallace and Smokin' Jim?
Thank you, Alan. And, hey, every once in a while, if Jim's right, you got to give him props. I disagree with him a lot, but that all being said.
3-15-22, no 23 Super Bowl
Well, you
for
know what they
Smokin'
say.
Jim.
And this is also another reason to remember today besides the Ides of March. Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I remember Julius Caesar didn't
Yes.
take that hint.
That too, Bruce.
Smokin' Jim doesn't know that.
No,
He's not a history guy, a math guy.
I thought the Ides of March was a band.
It is bad.
Oh, is that what you were going with?
Yeah, that's what I'm
So
going
anyhow,
Oh,
what's on my mind?
with. I took the opposite.
And you guys are going to
Sorry.
find out now why I'm not going to quit my day job.
Whoa.
Take me out to the ball game. Take me out with the crowd.
hooray!
Baseball's back. The Yankees are quivering in their boots because they've got the Pirate juggernaut to face on Friday in the opening game of spring training. But that all being said,
Wow.
I am excited that baseball's back. I'm very much looking forward to the season. I will be assuming my regular seat down at PNC Park for at least 25 games again this year, like I do every year. And I think the team's going to be a lot of fun to watch. I'm just going to sit back, watch these young players develop, and enjoy a full season, 162 games of baseball.
Well, I'm happy that you're happy, and I don't want Smokin' Jim. I'm not going to let him ask any questions
Don't worry, I'm not going to offer him any tickets.
because he will be negative. He will be negative.
That's
So
okay.
we aren't
Nothing's going to burst my bubble.
All right.
Okay.
Just
Nothing's
wanted to
gonna
put
burst.
the shield out.
Besides that,
Shield.
another great week in Pittsburgh sports. The Penguins beat the Carolina Hurricanes on Sunday. They're only 6 points behind them in their division. The Hurricanes they're going to be a tough team to beat in the playoffs, and if the Penguins are going to get anywhere, they're going to have to beat the Carolina Hurricanes this year.
Yeah.
There's no question about that. Tonight, the Penguins got the Nashville Predators in Nashville. Puck drops at 8 o'clock. And also this weekend. Now, all of the basketball teams in Western Pennsylvania this year, I mean the college basketball teams, have completely stunk the joint out. But we're going to get to see Sister Jean this weekend from Loyola, Chicago.
Yeah.
102 years old. I hope she makes it to the game. I don't know if she's able to travel, but what a fan and what a representative for the Loyola of Chicago basketball team.
No,
They're playing here at the paint
No,
can.
that is so great. The only thing missing, I got to ask this question. Where's Jamie Dixon?
Oh, he just completed his sixth 20-win season at TCU.
What did he do here?
Oh, he only took the Pitt year in and year out to the NCAA tournament.
Thank you, Chip Hayner.
And what has Jeff Capel done so far this year? He doesn't have a single recruit.
Wow.
Think about that. An ACC school, a top 5 power conference, and you've got 0 recruits for your team for next year. Think about that.
Hold it. He's a great recruiter.
They lost another player to the transfer portal today.
Wow.
Gateway plays.
But he's got a job for next year, and this is what I've got to say about that. He doesn't produce winning basketball here next year. It's time to wave goodbye.
Appreciate it. Chip. In honor of Chip, I can't let you even add to it.
One question. Anybody can answer it. Is baseball losing any games this year or no?
No, it's a 162-game season.
So I got a chance.
Disclaimer. Hold it.
Sure.
Disclaimer. Smoking Jim knows almost nothing about baseball.
I said that earlier. I said
I missed
162 games.
Yeah.
Wow.
He knows nothing about baseball, and it's an insult when we let him ask a question.
So it's not too late for me to put in.
This is why I didn't want you to talk.
Have over 100 losses.
Hold it. Was I ahead of the game, folks?
I'm putting money on that.
Here's what I'll take all your bets. They're going to lose 162.
Well, you know what the problem.
Whatever odds you want to give me, I'll take.
Alan, you know what the
do
problem.
100.
Wait, Alan, you know what the problem was? He bet for the Pirates to lose 100 games in the COVID-shortened season.
Remember the time that he said
Right.
they'd never be over 500 and they won the first game of the season last year? Remember that?
You know what? We try not to pick on Smoking Jim because we love him, but the problem is he's like that dunce with a hat in the corner, and he just wants to be noticed. We're going to move on. Thanks, Chip. Appreciate your happiness more than you know, because I've been a Pirate fan my whole life. My
And
first love is baseball.
I'm gonna
so
die
I
a
appreciate
Pirate
it.
fan.
Yeah.
When I'm 100.
Okay. No, that's a good goal. I like your goal. And Smoking Jim will remain a non-Pirate fan, but he'll take free tickets. Nick, what's on your mind?
Transactions! It's wonderful in the NFL and the MLB. A lot of transactions. I'm happy about it. I'm also working more shifts. Starting this Friday, I think I'm covering that Pirate game Chip was talking about. So
You're going to make money.
I'm going to make money!
That's anti-Smoking Jim.
And I want to see the Yankees sweating it against the Pirate juggernaut.
Yeah, well.
Grapefruit.
I mean,
Let them know.
well, the Yankees did something that they normally do, which I'm kind of getting tired of. I mean, I know their reputation before where they just signed
What's that,
big
have
people.
the highest payroll and lose?
Well,
Yeah.
well, hold on. No, I mean, but it's like they acquire all the big names, and then they're like, this is what sells, and then they underachieve, which has kind of been the decade of the 2010s, like a repeat of the 80s. Yeah, getting Josh Donaldson, I was like, man, they really sacrificed Gio Urshela, who they were raving about over the last 2 seasons. They gave away Sanchez, who can't really hit for contact or anything and kind of struggles defensively. So, I mean, that was kind of sad, though, because he had so much promise, and now they're, like, trading him for Josh Donaldson and a catching prospect. So that's crazy. Matt Olson signs with the Braves. Where's Freddie Freeman going to go? Kershaw back with the Dodgers. The Pirates signed Daniel Vogelbach, who hits left-handed and could probably hit one into the river. So exciting. Heath Hembree, a former Red Sox relief pitcher who did well. I think he was on a World Series team with them, comes to the Pirates. On a free agent deal as well. It's all so exciting. McCutcheon to the Brewers, sad face, not very fun. What else?
Why? He's working still.
Yeah.
He's still in baseball.
But he's in the Central now, and we've got to watch him wear a
Oh,
Brewers
he's
uniform.
in baseball.
I get it. That's good for him, but
We'll see him at PNC Park the end of June.
it's sad. That's all I'm saying. It's sad. How
Was
about
it worse seeing him in the Philadelphia Phillies uniform?
That was sad
The
to
Phillies
me.
were a
Any-
bigger rival of the Pirates
that was sad
than the
to
Brewers
me.
have ever been, but that was before your day.
now it's my time. I didn't live.
Thanks for clarifying.
I know
that,
the
Chip.
Pirates were in the NL East once upon a time, but they're not anymore. And now McCutcheon played in an era where he played in the NL Central with the Pirates, and the Brewers are now in the NL Central. It's terrible. I'm surprised the Reds gave up 2 big pieces, too, Winker and Eugenio Suarez, to go to the Mariners, who, everybody who goes there pretty much, their career dies. So, I mean, it's all exciting with the transactions. And then the Steelers are making moves in the NFL. Trubisky signed. I got more to say later, but, we're all aligned with, the
You can
opinion of
tease
that.
us. What are you going to say?
Well, that's not a tease. If I'm gonna, that's
See, he's
no,
learned.
The tease was that I'm gonna talk about it and later on.
I was trying to help.
I'm just happy.
Hold it. I was trying to help your best buddy, Smoking Jim,
I
because
see.
he didn't get it.
Oh well,
He needs help.
whoopsie. But
Okay.
no, I'm just excited.
Carry on. I'm happy you're happy.
I'm
Go
just
ahead.
so happy with everything. I got more shifts at my job now, and there are transactions happening. It's beautiful. It's beautiful madness, and I'm happy about it. And I almost forgot what it was like to, enjoy sports, but the pandemic's kind of out the door now, and baseball's not in a lockout anymore. It's good feels from the VIP. And that's what's on my mind.
That was one of your best. What's on your mind since you've been on here?
I'll just listen to all the transactions. I
Yes.
remember in my head.
Yes. Well, you almost beat Smoking Jim with how he does, fiction and fact, because he likes to bring out some facts. Yours, I'll just share this. Smoking Jim, not 100%. You were 100%. And then Freeman, being from a World Series team and being a hero for the team, getting traded, that's remarkable in my mind.
Did you hear what happened with Freeman? I read today.
No.
He was offered an extremely lucrative contract to go play for the Dodgers.
Whoa.
He turned it down.
Does that mean he could get more money? He probably could.
You know what? Or
he just doesn't want to.
He doesn't care. Yeah.
That's all it's about, because the Dodgers print money.
The only thing that I see there is they extended Olsen after they traded for him. The Braves did for $168 million over 5 years, which is nuts. But are they using Olsen as a DH? I mean, I still got to think about too, like what's going on with, teams in the National League now signing players for the designated hitter. Nelson Cruz signed with the Nationals. Forgot to mention that. That's wild. But
and I think more teams should sign 220 hitters to be their designated hitter.
Okay, great. Will Olsen be the DH and they'll bring Freeman back? Is that the thing? But it's all dramatic, and that's what's exciting about it. Chip and I disagree on our perspectives
Hold
of
it,
baseball.
wait. I just want you to
understand.
move forward with, Chip can say, I agree to disagree. Can you say, I agree to disagree?
I agree to disagree.
All right, we're going to move on. Thank you very
And I
much.
say ban the DH.
Hey.
And you can agree to not disagree.
Wait. Wait a minute. Nick's not serious. Bill Means said Nick isn't serious. What am I not serious
I
about?
don't
Well,
know. We'll
there
have
you
to
go.
clarify that.
That's the way you come across.
There's so many things on my mind with what's going on. Luckily, Chip covered some of it. Smoking Jim covered what I wanted to talk about, Steelers. Chip covered all the rest. Nick added even more about what I wanted to talk about. So me being a Penguin fan, Steeler fan, Pirate fan, I'm talking Penguins. Watched Penguins against the Carolina Hurricane the other day. Good game. And I saw 2 open net goals by the Penguins, and they won.
One that was 200 feet.
That's what I wanted to get into. Sidney Crosby's at the goal. At the goal, they pulled their goaltender, and Smoking Jim, I'll try to explain it. The rink's like 200 feet. One goal is here. The enemy's goal, the other team, well, your friends, is there. So Sid is on this side of the goal, shoots it all the way down center of the goal. Wow. If he's not a Hall of Famer, I don't know who is. And what I noticed, and Chip can verify it, when the Penguins come out strong in any of their games, and I think they've won 26 games when they score first, maybe losing only 3, maybe tying a couple. But when they come out strong, in the first 5 minutes, because I told my son the same thing I always do, we're winners. And it was a little bit of a struggle, but we controlled most of the tempo against a team that's a little bit better than ours.
Yeah, and the problem that we had with Carolina on Sunday, and the only part of the game I watched was the third period. The entire third period was played right in front of Jari. They outshot us, I believe, 18-2. With the exception of the 2 empty netters.
Yes.
They're not going to win. That is not a winning formula for playoff hockey.
No, and that's what I saw, that second period, because we dominated the first. I was stunned. I'm like, my prediction might not hold up, but it did. So, I mean, the Penguins are one of the grittiest teams, and I've watched hockey since they were founded here in '67. Used to go to the games when you'd pay $3 to sit in peanut heaven.
Duquesne Gardens?
Yes, and so I witnessed a lot of those things over the years. Always been a hockey fan because it was a new sport to me. I just knew if you threw a ball, kicked the ball, that was good, except for soccer, but we won't talk about soccer. So it was just a great memory to see what the potential they have. And Jari, I'm still nervous about him in the playoffs, but what he's done, especially that second period.
We got a nickname for him.
What is
We're
it?
going to call him the Jari Wall.
Whoa. You heard it here first. Chip Hayner, the Jari Wall. All right, we're going to be back in 10 seconds because of the new graphics that we got. This team here, my volunteer team, put it all together. We're going to be back in 10 seconds with Fiction and Fact from Smokin' Jim's Almanac.
Thanks, Al Levine, the Talking Machine. And what I'm going to do from now into the draft, I really believe that the Pittsburgh Steelers, talent-wise, is one of the top 5 teams in the National Football League, if not the most talented team in the National Football League. And each week I'm going to go after a position and just kind of prove it. This week I'm going to talk about wide receivers. I think the Pittsburgh Steelers wide receivers stack up with anybody. Deontay Johnson drops a lot of passes, but last year 107 catches, 1,100 yards, 8 touchdowns. I don't know if James Washington or Juju will be back, but in my opinion, Chase Claypool is the most talented receiver in Pittsburgh Steelers history, 6'4", 240 pounds. 2 years ago, 62 catches, 873 yards, 9 touchdowns. We got to throw in Pat Freiermuth in there. I said...
Did you say wide receivers?
I'm including him in the receiving game.
Because I got to check when you say top 10.
Huh?
He did say receivers at first.
Yeah.
Well,
All right.
I'm
I'm not going to quibble then.
he's
Smoking
part
Jim
of the
has a.
receiving core.
like,
Let's put it that
If you're
way.
white, you're all right. Let's get a little white in there. Al Levine, the Talking Machine.
What does that have to do with being a receiver?
Pat Freiermuth.
And if you're
is
black,
a receiving
come right
type.
back.
Yes, it.
What do you got?
Pat Freiermuth is one of the best receiving tight ends in the game. I think he's already better than Heath Miller. I think he's the second best tight end in Steeler history behind Eric Green. And this is a guy last year that had 60 catches for 7 touchdowns. And let's not forget, and this is for Trubisky or Mason Rudolph, or which one of them wins the starting job, your best weapon for a receiver just might be Najee Harris. I think he had over 100 catches last year out of the backfield. He's a workhorse. Franco Harris raised some money to feed the people. He was homeless his whole life. He has a foundation to benefit that, to receive food. And this is a guy that, even though his mom was homeless, his family was homeless, he swore that he would get his degree at Alabama. He could have came out after his junior year to help his family, but he was good for his word. And this is a guy that may go down as one of your all-time great Steelers, Najee Harris. So right there you can see offensively, as far as receivers, Steelers stack up just as well as anybody in the league, I believe.
And I will say this. It'll be interesting to see this year. Najee Harris, as a rookie, gained over 1,200 yards.
Yes, sir.
Okay? And that
If
was,
we have a line,
wait, that was after he got hit 3 yards deep in the backfield
Good
on
point.
every play.
sometimes 5.
Okay, so what happens if he doesn't get hit until he's on 3 yards on the other side of the line?
Good point.
More yardage.
I'm thinking
More yardage. Look
record.
out.
Well, we're talking records.
It could be 2K. It could be 2K for Najee. So we'll see what happens. Thank you, Smoking Jim. 10 seconds till we get Chip.
Well, everybody, I think I'm the one that it should be appropriate that I announce this, and I want to tip my hat to Ralph Williams for reminding me. But we've got a Pittsburgh sports announcer that is announced his retirement. His last time on the air will be April 30th, and I think it's appropriate that I announce it because I'm an alumni of Baldwin High School. So was Guy Junker, and Guy Junker announced his retirement. He's gonna cover one last Steelers draft.
Wow.
And there was one other sporting event he wants to cover before he retires. Guy, 45 years in Pittsburgh. You know,
I got to just give this line. Stan, Guy, love the show.
and Guy Junker
How'd
was
I
a
do?
graduate from Baldwin High School.
Understand.
Grew up in Baldwin,
Oh,
so
what is he? Don't look old at all. He looks pretty
65.
young. I didn't know that. He
I'm
don't look that old.
65.
Well, you guys both look great.
So are you.
No, he's not. He's not.
Okay, so Chip's trivia this week. And last week,
Great opening, Chip. Great. Legendary. What a show.
Last week I didn't bring this up, and I should have. I'm remiss, but I was still a little down. There hadn't been an agreement yet with baseball. Now that there has been an agreement, I'm looking forward to the Pirate season. So I wanted to find a Pirate great that I would talk about tonight. And there was nobody greater when it came to hitting home runs than Wilver, Darnell Stargell, whose birthday was last Sunday, March 6th.
Wow.
And just to give you an idea, you know, people that didn't see Willie Stargell play really missed something because this guy could hit a baseball like nobody else. During his career, he batted .282 with 2,232 hits, 1,194 runs, 423 doubles, 475 home runs, and 1,540 runs batted in, helping his team win 6 National League East Division titles,
Yeah.
2 National League pennants, and 2 World Series championships, 1971, 1979, both over the Baltimore Orioles. Stargell was a 7-time All-Star, a 2-time National League home run leader. In 1979, he became the first and currently only player to win the National League Most Valuable Player Award, the National League Championship Series MVP Award, and the World Series MVP Award in one season. In 1982, the Pirates retired his uniform number. He was inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame in 1988. Quite a list of accomplishments for somebody. And this was, you know, in the 60s. And, you know, in the 60s it was...
We grew up with this.
Clemente was Stargell. Then, you know, as Clemente
Alou
passed
brothers.
away, we didn't lose it. Stargell was a team. So through the 60s and the 70s, the Pirates were always in contention for the Eastern Division title.
Boy, that must have been nice.
Oh, it was. You know what, Nick? Here's what. It was so nice that we took it for granted. You know, that
Yes,
the
we
Pirates
did.
were going to be in contention. So, you know, without getting too far into depth into the
Just
events
mention
in Willie's-
Chicken on the Hill with Will.
But here's what Willie Stargell was known most for. Long home runs. At one time, Stargell held the record for the longest home run in nearly half of all the National League
That's
parks.
amazing.
On August 5th, 1969, Stargell hit a home run off of Alan Foster that left the stadium and measured 507 feet, the longest home run ever hit at Dodger Stadium. It actually left the stadium. He hit a second home run out of Dodger Stadium on May 8th, 1973 against Andy Messerschmidt, measured at 470 feet. Dodger Hall of Famer Don Sutton said of Stargell, "I never saw anything like it. He doesn't just hit pitchers, he takes away their dignity." Only 4 other home runs have been hit out of Dodger Stadium.
Yeah.
Now, I believe somebody may have hit one out from there last year.
I thought I heard something on
but-
that. Yeah.
On June 25th, 1971, Stargell hit the longest home run in Veterans Stadium history in Philadelphia in a win over the Philadelphia. The shot came in the second inning, Chase starting pitching, Jim Bunning out of the game. The spot where the ball landed was eventually marked with a yellow star with a black S inside, a white circle until Stargell's death in 2001. That's what the city of the Philadelphia Phillies did for Willie Stargell. And if anybody knows anything about Philadelphia
Yeah.
sports fans, they eat their young.
My sister in New Jersey will tell you that. So
The star remained in place until the stadium's demolition in 2004. In 1978, against Wayne Twitchell of the Montreal Expos, Stargell hit the only fair ball ever to reach the club deck of Olympic Stadium. The seat where the ball landed, the home run was measured at 535 feet, was replaced with the yellow slate, while the other seats in the upper deck are red. Upon the Expo's departure in 2004, the seat was removed and sent to the Canadian Baseball Hall of Fame.
Wow, what an honor.
Bob Prince, the colorful longtime Pirate announcer, would greet a Stargell home run with a phrase, "Chicken on the Hill." This referred to Stargell's ownership of a chicken restaurant in the Pittsburgh's Hills District. For a time, whenever he homered, Stargell's restaurant would give away free chicken to all the patrons present in the restaurant at the time of the home run, in a promotion dubbed Chicken on the Hill with Will. Prince himself once promised free chicken to listeners if Stargell hit a home run. Stargell did, and Prince picked up the $400 bill at the restaurant.
And I got to share this as a personal note, working for the Pittsburgh Press on the Post-Gazette. There was a Hill family, and they said, if Will, we had the game on, and they go, if Will hits a home run, we'll go up and get some chicken. Will hit a home run, and we had Chicken on the Hill with Will chicken, and it was delicious.
How many years till it went bankrupt?
Pardon me?
How many years till the restaurant went bankrupt?
They didn't.
Or just closed?
They sold out to a person like yourself that was looking for $1 million investment, and they have not seen the man since.
They sold it to Gus Greenlee.
Yeah, but he made money. Chip, I got to correct you. He made money. You're a degenerate gambler friend.
Wait, legally or illegally?
Both.
That was
Both.
the worst chicken I ever ate. That chicken on the hill with Whipple.
There's no way. Because here's what I tell people. Anybody that's had a free meal, the best meals I've had are free.
Worse than KFC?
Yeah. Yeah. Go to Chick-fil-A with Tony. Stop in and ask for Tony at Chick-fil-A like, was it Dan and Nick were there? Or?
Yeah, recognize me.
Yeah. How about Nick got recognized at a good chicken eating place you never been to, Chick-fil-A.
Lines is too long for me.
Well, you got to go
And he has
earlier.
too many race cards in his pocket.
You got to go early. I ate there
Tony.
today. My son bought a chicken biscuit meal for me. So we were at Chick-fil-A at 8 o'clock.
Hopefully they'll have one in Phoenix.
You won't be there because you can't tell me
Well,
who
you won't be
hired
able to
you.
get it on Super Bowl Sunday because they're not open on
And
Sundays.
the crickets and the crickets are still there. Who hired you, Smoking Jim? Bill Means said, Chip, my brother Tim was an All-State at Baldwin.
I recognize the name.
And I worked with him at the Pittsburgh Press and Post-Gazette, and I talked to him over the years. I saw him at our KO reunion, and he told me Bill was his brother. I didn't know because I didn't know his last name.
All state and what?
I think football.
Bill, class
They
of
play football at
78.
Baldwin?
Class of 78 from Baldwin here.
There we go.
They play football at Baldwin?
Smoking Jim.
Not very well.
Shut his mic down.
Big John Yanessa couldn't even get a winning football team in Baldwin.
All right.
Learned something new.
Thank you, Chip. And Ryan in the control room, can you please shut Smoking Jim's mic? Because Nick's going to try to talk. We're going to be with him in 10 seconds when A2 gives us a signal.
VIP.
All right, opinion. Lots of transactions. It's crazy. Yeah, still excited. Anyway,
What was
So,
the tease? I'm still waiting.
Mitch Trubisky with the Steelers. So I'm not. It's great. It's a good thing. It's a good thing. I don't know if he's going to play well or not, but that's not the opinion. The Steelers have put themselves in a wonderful situation. So they tender Haskins for cheap. Mason Rudolph's still not really making that much money either. And Trubisky was signed for, what, 12 to
14
14?
million.
14.
14
So that's cheap for
2 years.
a quarterback. So it's $7 million each year. So it's
Only 2 years.
so it's cheap, right? So it's cheap. So now the Steelers have an established NFL player who had a flash in the pan, but played for the Bears.
Took him to the playoffs, actually.
He did, and then what was it, Parkey with the double doink? Not fun for the Bears, and then they did poor after that. But look, I mean, and I saw Bill Means in the comments said that Nagy might not Nagy, Trubisky was a poor signing because he hasn't been proven. But the Steelers aren't in a situation where they can just recruit's not the right word. Bring in talent that is proven. They're not in that position right now. They just lost a franchise quarterback to retirement, so you've got to take a chance on somebody who hasn't proven himself yet, I would say. Mason Rudolph could have been that guy. I think he's had enough of a chance to show what he could do at quarterback, but there are plenty of people that disagree with that, and that's fine. But you've got Trubisky now, who's likely going to start. You've got two kind of experienced guys in Rudolph and Haskins on the string of quarterbacks. And then I think that they're going to draft a young quarterback and let that quarterback kind of ease his way into being a starter. And you win either way in that case because you draft a quarterback in the first round and has a lot of promise and could start next year if Trubisky doesn't do well. Or let's say Trubisky does well. You can trade the high-end quarterback talent for somebody else. Trubisky can come back to the Steelers. Or maybe from some potluck, maybe Rudolph or Haskins becomes amazing. That's less likely than the other scenarios.
I must interrupt you. I'm not even hopeful on either one of those.
Great, but the bottom line is the reason why
Just to share.
The reason why this is a win for the Steelers, a win-win everywhere, is because the Steelers now are going to have options. They're not just stuck with trying to put all their chips on Rudolph or all their chips on Haskins or all their chips on an unproven drafted quarterback. They've got a guy in Trubisky who he's done well. He also played for a poor Bears team, and he performed poorly. But that's the thing. They have options now. So if Trubisky doesn't work out, draft the quarterback, let the quarterback play to end the season. Then the Steelers get to draft high the next season because they did poorly. Or the quarterbacks play well, and the Steelers win and go to the playoffs again, and Mike Tomlin can keep his streak of no losing seasons. Everybody wins.
Okay. I have to definitely disagree.
Whoa.
The worst mistake the Steelers could make would be to take a quarterback in the first round this year. There are no first-round talent quarterbacks.
Kenny Pickett. Draft Kenny Pickett.
Nick, if I may finish, okay? There are no really number one first-round draft pick quality quarterbacks in the draft. The Steelers would be better served to try to pick one of those defensive linemen off of the Georgia Bulldogs or an inside linebacker off the top-rated defense in the country because they need to get younger on the defensive line. They got pushed around last year, were worst in the league in run defense, and they've got to do something to stop that. They could use depth at inside linebacker. They could use depth on the edge. I think it would be better for them to bolster the defense where it's aging and where they're weak. Because do you think Joe Schobert is the answer to their inside linebacker problem? The answer to that question is no. And I think that they need to bring in somebody young to fill those shoes, either that or sign him in free agency.
So that was trivia time. VIP time says draft a quarterback in the first round. Yeah!
I hate to pow on you, Nick, because we have a Steeler franchise that knew they had an old quarterback, had 3 ripped tendons, and didn't plan for the future.
Good point. Yeah, that's true.
So your optimism is greatly appreciated. I'm optimistic every day.
I'm just taking a stance.
And I'm positive. No, I'm not disrespecting your stance. I just said I disagree with it because of how Art Rooney's leadership has led us to this point where we have all these different holes. Smoking Jim's negative Ned, so he points out all these things.
But he was clapping with
But when they're correct, yeah, but he's just your biggest fan. I'm glad I introduced you to. You could say, it looks like it's snowing out there. Way to go, Nick. Just saying. So my point is, most likely I'm an optimistic Steeler fan who believes an unproven Trubisky will have a losing record with Mike Tomlin for the first time and will get a better chance of a better quarterback next year in the draft. And this year, I got to agree or lean towards Chip. Don't draft a quarterback because I'll just share this with you. I love what Kenny Pickett did last year, but it took him 6 years to get to be a great quarterback.
Think about what he could do with a 7th.
Here's what I have a question for you. That was from going from high school to college 6 years. What will he do in the pro with their faster, stronger, 300-pound guys are doing 4.5 40s? What are they going to do there, and how long is it going to take him to get to the level where you and others believe that he is? How long will that take? If you can answer it right now, I appreciate it. But I'm going to watch and see and hope for the best. And if we don't get Pickett, I won't be disappointed, but I'll always watch him.
And quarterback, draft one next year or the following year. Rebuild the defense, rebuild the offensive line, the defensive line, because what wins championships, Jim?
Defense.
Thank you.
And how can the worst defensive running defense be a champion team?
And they made the playoffs with the worst run defense
I know.
in the NFL.
It's scary. Parity means something in my book.
So
All right. Thanks, Nick. Sorry to burst your little bit of
count on
optimistic
two, play
bubble.
to it.
Give me one good cheer for Steelers.
Go Steelers!
We're going to go to my segment in 10 seconds. A2 did a great thing on that on location. Love it. Had to look at it again. Sorry, live TV, you have these interruptions. We've talked so much that I'm going to do my shortest on location. We're looking at fights potentially April 2nd with Jack Mook. We're looking at maybe in Smokin' Jim's Monroeville country with Gloria with Golden Gloves on the 9th. And I have to announce we're going back to Monsville Prison, which is haunted and has been on TV as a haunted prison. We're going back April 16th, 7 o'clock fights. Nick's going to bring his great camera work with set records with our show and watching it and camera angles, and it even showed me and Smokin' Jim talking to y'all. So we're going to do that again. Mike Murray said to say hi when he booked us. Ended up talking a short conversation of 45 minutes with him. And I even met his wife, so she's a saint to put up with him, I must say. And Jim Frio, shout out to him for hiring us again to do that. And Smokin' Jim, Talking Machine, and the VIP will be traveling to Monsville. So we're going to watch fights down there. And they're usually up. With Nick, I can say it's going to be up within 2 or 3 days, normally about a week or two with normal circumstances, but it should be another great show. They got a lot of amateur bouts and a few professional fights. So we're going to cover a lot of ground there at the Monsville prison. We will look up where they used to hang people and look for that ghost.
I took a picture there last year.
I know. That's why Nick's going to rearrange his schedule through thick and thin.
6 a.m.
Yes, he's
Right
gonna,
early on Saturday.
He's going to do something Smokin' Jim would never do. He's going to work at 6 a.m., not go to sleep at 6 a.m. But, hey, I want to thank all of you for watching our show and your feedback. I caught some of it, and I don't catch all of it. Chip, you want to throw something
just
on?
a little Penguin talk.
Go ahead.
Penguins probably will not make moves come the trade deadline. Don't look for them to do anything drastic or anything at all.
Very good. Smokin' Jim, no last word from him. We don't want negativity and investment advice. And Nick, thanks again for a great show. And all of you, we appreciate you watching us. Tell your friends about our Facebook Live. Anybody can watch the show, and anybody new that's been on, especially Anthony's mother. Thank you for watching the show tonight. We appreciate that. I only call him A1 because we have Anthony too. Stay Joey strong.